So first off, how are you? What's been going on? What's up?
I mean, you know, I'm good. I'm good. Just, adapted to a new area. That's about it. I don't do too much. So,
So
just been vibing,
so for those,
staying low.
yeah, stand low. That's how it is. That's the type of those are the type of women I like. Low key. Kind of do what you do, everything. And for those of you who do not know and who are unfamiliar, you want to tell the listeners exactly who you are.
I mean, I'm Joli Noir. I make music. I haven't made music in a while, though. So I don't know what to call myself at this point, but, most people know me from making music. I got a project on all digital streaming platforms. Since you're here, if you want to go check it out. But yeah, I'm not just a regular chick for real. To be honest, regular woman. I be staying to myself. But for those who didn't know, now you know.
You are now in the Blair Podcast. Welcome to the
And just to be honest, you're really being modest. And I know it's a Sunday, so it's a little boring. Like these days, ain't really much going on. But you got to get some enthusiasm on this show now, right? Because look, this is a celebration. This is a year. This is like my year anniversary, or whatever. It's kind of like close to like a little over a year for your project, which I personally felt like was the 2020 project of the year. And those of you who know me know that I listen to pretty much everybody. And when it comes to like rap, like she really be rapping. And just like many other artists from VA, we are multi-talented individuals. So let me ask you, because I've been rocking with you since Ding Dang, before you was even called Pretty Black, I guess. And kind of thing when you was still with Team Coolin'. How did you get into rapping? How did you get into music?
I mean, I always kind of wrote music. Unfortunately, my energy is not as it's never really up like that because I'm just a chill person by nature. But yeah, I mean, I started doing music when I was young, like 8 years old. I was writing my own little songs. I'm an R&B head, so I like R&B music mostly with an influence of hip hop. So those R&B records where it was like R&B, then it had like a little rap in it. That was my thing. I like stuff like that. But as I got older, I wanted to sing, to be honest. I wanted to sing, but I had such a stage fright that, I wouldn't really give it my all. So as time progressed, I just kind of rapped it. I said, well, shit, I'll rap it. This was after Nicki Minaj and shit like that. So I was like, fuck it. I just rap my lyrics, and that's just what it was. I was always good at writing English and shit. So,
Yeah.
That's what I started to pursue in that. Like, if I didn't want to sing, not even if I didn't want to sing, if I didn't want to really put myself out there singing wise, because I'm pretty sure I could have been a good singer if I had the right training and whatnot, but I just, I never really gave it my all.
That's what's up. Cause see, I'm gonna tell you, cause I tell you this many times, on Insta, Twitter, and all that stuff. Like cause I'm a simple. Like it doesn't take much to please me. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say that you're Alicia Keys or probably like a Beyonce, but I think you're pretty good at singing, which do like that record Ride, which is pretty much one of my favorite records that you've done. And there was another record, I forgot the name of it. This was back when you put out your project, like I forgot how long ago it was. The Girl Next Door when you were singing. I think your sister was up there as well. But I'm gonna be honest, like there are some fans and listeners out here that appreciates the fact that you can hold a note, because I will say that you really can pull it off, because like I said, it just really depends on the record. And I think as an artist, which you do have that, natural talent where you just, because really rap, and I always be messing with you about, you can, I mean, if you wanted to be a battle rapper, I think you would do pretty well. But you actually have that hidden talent of being a singer, and that's really not a natural thing, because just like you mentioned Nicki Minaj, I think if you're consistent with it, you will get better, and you can actually do some songs on there. I'm gonna keep telling you, like, whenever you decide to let that angel out, you gonna kill, because like I said, Ride is a dope record, and I thought somebody else was on the hook, but that was you.
Right, that's what I was about to say. A lot of people always think it's somebody else on the hook, so I I don't know why, but
because you've been on
people
features.
do think that for some reason.
You said what?
I said people do think that for some reason. They think it's somebody else on the hook. They're like, "Oh, that's you on the hook." I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, because I know you do record, like you have done records with, like, I know you have some people you have done records with. I know I'm a little familiar with Miss Sherelle. I didn't know if that was her or not. I didn't know if I thought it was her or not.
Yeah, people was confusing me with her. Yeah.
But I'm.
Now me and her have two totally different voices. So I definitely didn't get that one.
Well, I think because we got to get a little bit more familiar with it. Like I said, I know I like
the high pitched voice a little bit, so.
Yeah, but
I don't really got a high pitched voice.
But yeah, I think that's definitely a dope record. Like I really like that's like what really inspired that record, because I mean, you decided you wanted to sing on that one. Like, what was the inspiration behind that record? Because it was a little older record, but it definitely still applies to today.
What, Ride?
Yeah.
That song came from somebody that I really like. Like, it was inspired by somebody that I really like. So, it was just like, if you down to ride, I'm down to ride. We a ride. So let me know what's up type shit. So, that's what that song was about. It was just, me talking my shit to somebody that I like. Hopefully they, were listening and understood what I was talking about. So, if not, it's all good. But, that was a dedication to somebody.
Was that mission accomplished?
I'm not sure. I can't tell you that for sure.
Well, if you I mean, hopefully one day. I mean, hopefully sooner than later. I mean, if there's a message.
Yeah, hopefully one day it is.
If you
discovered whether or not that person actually listened. I did recommend that they listen, but did they listen? I'm not sure. I never followed up on it.
Now with that, does that record still apply? Like, are you still hoping that this person, is gonna listen to it one day and be like, all right, look, I'm a ride with you, I'm a ride for you, ride or die, Queen and Slim type, Bonnie and Clyde type shit though.
I doubt that. I don't know. I can't really say what the future holds. I try not to do stuff like that, but for the most part, like, I don't know. I don't think so. Like, yeah, I don't think so. But who knows?
Yeah, now, and a correlation with that, because this was something that I asked before. I like asking this question, and can you be with someone who is not a fan of your music?
I mean, people that naturally well, I don't know. Let me see. I think the relationships I have been in since I've been doing music, they knew that I did music. So, or if they, they probably was an artist themselves. So, I mean, it really don't matter if they're not a fan of my. If they don't even know that I do music, that's fine because most of the time I don't tell people that I do music. Like, so I'd rather you probably not know that I do music.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know.
You just too chill about it. It's like I'm sure, like, cause I know that you gotta work and stuff, but I'm pretty sure I can just sense it. Like, you know, this is something that you love doing. It's not just a hobby for you. So
no, listen. I love music. I always love music. Like I said, since I was a child, it was something I always wanted to do, especially on an R&B level. But lately I just been chilling. Like I really have. Like when I moved from Virginia, I just kind of got in the zone of trying to adapt to a new surrounding. Like I don't have access to like studios and stuff like that in the area that I am in. So the most I could do is wait till I get to come back home and go to the studio or something like that. But I hadn't been inspired, by anything. Watching the music industry is trash. You know what I'm saying? Not to say you have to be involved in the music industry to do anything, but it just, watching your peers or your, so to speak, peers and what they doing to, the craft itself, it just, is a turn off. It's disappointing. And, for a while, I just said, fuck that shit. Like, if I want to make music, I make it whenever I want to, but I'm not pursuing it in a light where I used to. And, if something come of it, cool, but I'm not in that mind space, in that mental space anymore. Like, if I want to make music, I do that. But to pursue it and compete with these non-lyrical, non-rapping as females, like, no, I can't do that. I'm so much more than an ass and pussy rapper. Like, it's I'm not doing that. So the market nowadays is for those type of rappers, and I understand that. And you just got to be realistic. The only person that's really trying to keep it to a point where it's like really skill involved is Nicki Minaj. So, and you still got the ones like, I ain't even gonna just say Nicki Minaj. You got the ones that still write, like Tierra Whack, but she's not a commercial rapper. She's more behind the scenes. You got the Dreezy's, Dreezy rap. She rap, but she's she's a dark skinned girl, so they don't really like to put the dark skinned girls into the forefront too much. Megan slid past for her gimmicks and her controversy that she got going on. So it's always something going on. It's never genuinely somebody's skill set. And I just don't like the climate of hip hop right now as far as for female rap.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. So, so you haven't been writing or anything neither?
I mean, I write here and there, but it's just like, no, I haven't recorded, in like over a year because, like I said, I ain't had access to no studio. And even if I did have access to it, wouldn't play. I've been turned off, so I just ain't really been in that, like I said, that mental space to even want to rap about anything.
Yeah, I understand. And that actually goes back to, deep thoughts and conscious,
right.
The deep thoughts, which, like I told you before, like that was another one of those records where it talks about the current. I believe it was that one because I know there was deep thoughts and conscious. Those was like two of your more, touchy records, and you was like look inside your inner being, and it was. And I know it was like with COVID and everything going on. I think that one was kind of more related to like deep thoughts, because it's about being, your inner self. So
you're talking about conscious. Conscious was about the inner beings.
Okay,
that was talking about more so, our people and
right. Okay, yeah. Okay.
You being aware of who you are, and
right.
And then certain situations that was going on with all the missing women and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's what conscious. But deep thoughts is more so like, like stuff that you really think about. Is it love? Is it hate? Is it real?
Right. Okay.
Do you give or do you take? Like these are natural questions that you ask, or do you want to learn about somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Do you think outside the box, or do you retreat inside and hit the lots? Like that's some real shit. Like, do you really think outside the box, or are you just stuck inside the box? Like, you just You don't do nothing else but what's comfortable to you. Like, do you step outside yourself sometimes? So, that was something to think about. That's why I called it deep thoughts, because surface level people could talk about surface level stuff all the time. You could talk about materialistic shit, boom, boom, boom. But it's really, are people really talking about their real feelings like nowadays in music? If you actually think about that question, are people really thinking about, like, or not even thinking about, but are they really talking about real life situations? The only people that you really know that are talking about real life situations or have something real to say is somebody like a J. Cole. That's the only person that I know to this day that I listen to. I ain't talking about other people that are actually doing it, because I don't listen to them. I don't know of them. But for the most, like, for mainstream, to me personally, J. Cole. And then when Kendrick Lamar come out, he talks about real topics. But as far as like recently, J. Cole is about the only person that I know that came and talked about some real shit. Nicki Minaj, when she dropped her 12-year-old mixtape and added those new songs to it. Seeing Green, she was talking about real shit up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can rap, we can rap. Like, people can rap, but are people going to want to gravitate and listen to it? You know what I'm saying? Some people got to be in a certain mood to listen to certain type of music.
Yeah.
And then the music that is out now, people just want to turn up and, you know what I'm saying, do some other shit. So I don't.
But I think that's reality too, because me, I'm definitely like a conscious rap fan. I came up listening, to, like, I knew about Kid and Play and Will Smith like when I was younger. But when I started looking into like rap for real, Fabulous, 50 Cent, Kanye West, all this is real, but it's like, I'll look at it in the sense of this, right? I always felt like, hey, I'm a little self-centered and arrogant and selfish to say people who, rappers like maybe the Yachty's or maybe the Uzis. I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with their music enough to even say it. But, just
Right.
talking about turning up and all that stuff, like, I would rather rappers who do that, I would rather them not be rappers. They can do something else. But it wouldn't be fair, because it's just like social media. I used to get a lot of flack for putting up the stuff that I put up. I had family members tell me, hey, if my post says to be continued, they won't even look at it, because it's like, when you're on social media and when you listen to certain music, you're not really trying to deal with what's going on in your life.
Right.
So
You're trying to escape that.
Right. So it's just a facade, and I think we all have our views and opinions on on music. I still gravitate towards a lot of the new artists. Like, there's artists, for me personally, like, I like Lil Baby. He's probably the most versatile rapper right now that I listen to. Like, he can rap about money, chicks, things that's going on in life. And then even like with Drake, but he's already been in for a minute. And even with Nicki, like, Nicki, she I love Nicki, you know what I'm saying? Like, she man, from the gate, I was a fan of hers. I really enjoyed a lot of her, like, like you said, she dropped that mixtape Beam Me Up Scotty, and that was, she was saying some stuff on there. But I think it's just kind of like what you're in the mood to. Like J. Cole, like, I don't want to listen to J. Cole all the time, because it's just like, sometimes, like, man, look, man, I ain't really trying to be thinking about that right now, because like, he can rap, but I think too much of it.
Balance. We shouldn't be able to name one or two rappers there, and let's not keep forgetting Nas, because Nas is shout out to him, because it took him a while to get his the necessary flowers that he needed, but not needed, but that he deserved. So, it's ones that still, thriving, even if it come late in the game. You know what I'm saying? They still get that recognition off of the music that they, stayed true to. So, big up for him, because he been making music like that, and it took him this long to get that type of recognition. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, like, it needs to be balanced. I'm tired of our female rapper. What name outside of, because, I mean, I can't name one, like, female rapper that's mainstream that's really talking about something. Like, I can't really name Doja Cat as a rapper, because, like, that's not, No.
Are
So
you a Tink fan?
I'm trying to figure out like what female rappers like it's really keeping like female rap alive. It's not really
Rhapsody.
tainting it with this booty music. Like I'm tired of it.
How you feel about Rhapsody?
I don't like Rhapsody.
Why?
I don't like her personally.
Really? Why? Do you think she came at Nicki Minaj?
She's a flip flopper and she's a hater.
Oh man,
she's a hater.
I want to talk about that first off, cause see, I didn't listen to you was going in T with Joli. So you're I see you getting into your Oprah bag somewhat, kind of, not really Oprah bag, but Wendy Williams bag, but like I mean, man, I know I mean, you have expressed openly about how you felt about, you know, Cardi and Meg Thee Stallion. Now, do you think that it's really warranted, or is it just more so because you're so much of a diehard Nicki fan that you don't give them a fair shake? Cause I'm gonna be honest, just me personally, and I'm a dude, and I know you don't even really make music like Cardi or anything, but I was expecting to not like her album that she dropped, and I was pleasantly surprised that I liked as many songs as I did. But Nicki, I think she just won some award, but I'm like, I think sometimes at some point it's kind of like she hasn't been putting out music that much, but she still be winning awards and stuff, and it's just like, I don't know. I sometimes it's be questionable. It's
questionable. Hold up. Name some Cardi records that came out this year.
Well, I can't name them like all. I know she had features. So
name some Megan records that came out this year.
Shoot, man, hold on. She had a record.
If you gotta say that, you don't even know. Megan had one, maybe two songs that came out this year. She had a song with BTS that flopped horribly. They supposed to be the one of the biggest international pop star sensations in the world, and she couldn't even couldn't get no recognition off that song. She had Thought Shit that didn't do anything. That I don't even think that made it on the charts.
Okay. I don't think I heard that.
But she's our 3-time Grammy nominated female rapper of the year. Okay. Cardi B, if I'm not mistaken, she came out with Up sometime in the beginning of 2021. That was the only song, and then she came out with Normani came out with a song with Cardi B on it. She was a remix, and it came to number 14 or 16 on Billboard.
Okay.
Neither one of them have did any music this year. Nicki actually put out more music than they did. So Nicki put out her 12-year-old mixtape, and she added 3 new songs to that.
Was that this year?
Also,
was that this year?
Yes, it was this year.
Okay.
And she came out with a remix with Bia. She came out with a remix with Jet, the girl from Little Mix, just recently. She also, I believe, she did another song. I can't think of it right now, but yet she was on Drake's album. She didn't rap or anything, but she was on that album. Like, come on, she's been real active with music. Actually, she's been more active than the ones that y'all claim have been active. Cardi ain't been active because she's waiting to see what Nicki Minaj is gonna do.
Well, I wasn't saying as far as been active. I was just saying as far as like with her because I know because even with last year there was a.
No, she didn't put out no music because she had just had her son and all of that. No, she didn't.
No.
She was still doing remixes though. She had put out the Say So remix and went number 1 with Doja Cat. She put out the Whole Lot of Choppers remix with Sada Baby. She did remixes to Lil Baby, Drip Too Hard. Like she did certain remixes. She would do like drop little remixes and stuff like that, but she wasn't like really like active because she had just like announced she was pregnant. She had her son, this, that, and the third. So yeah, but she was still doing a lot more than them bitches was.
All right, well,
and that's why she was still winning awards, because the Barbs are a real fan base. The other girls, they don't have real fan bases. They hate on the Barbs. I
mean, maybe it's not even my place to say it because I'm not like deep like paying too much attention to any of them. Like I said, I'm a Nicki fan first, but I mean the City Girls they do alright, but I think
No, they don't, because actually they listen. I pay attention to this female rap stuff because they would be my peers. So if I'm paying attention to my peers, the City Girls are not doing much. That's why they are basically individually doing stuff to see what they're going to do next, because they don't know how they'll survive as a duo. So you seen Young Miami just put out that dumbass song Rap Freaks, and it actually hit number 81 on Billboard, a spot above our three Grammy nominated female artists, Megan, because Megan's Eat It or Eat Up or something then landed at 82.
Okay.
So how you let Young Miami get a spot ahead of it? Furthermore, why are you all the way at the bottom of the billboards and you're the 3-time Grammy winning female artist? Please make it make sense. So like I said, these girls is just they're just diluting and they're fucking up female rap. They got a lot of payola and shit like that going on. Cardi done started that whole Lauren the Bar shit because she done started some old streaming shit. Like they not buying y'all music. Well, that's why the project that Megan just put out, it only sold like 33,000 in its first week. That's sad.
Well, you gotta let you gotta let these girls capitalize on what they got. You know what I'm saying? Because again, first, shout out to Summer Walker. I think she just made history
she just got
with
Apple.
Apple.
The first week.
Yeah, like she just made Apple Music history. With her, I heard her album. Her album was actually pretty good. I mean, the R&B girls, they're doing pretty well. But my thing was, at some point, we can't get mad at the artists for capitalizing on what they like if it works for them, because I would say this, fans, they know, but they don't care. It's just like the whole ghostwriter thing.
It's not working for them, and that's why they struggle.
How do you feel? How you feel about ghostwriters and like people who have ghostwriters?
Man, look, you already know how I feel about all that. You ask me these questions, and you already know how I feel about it. I don't respect it, and that's just what it is. You can't call yourself a rapper if you can't even articulate your own words and rap them. It is what it is. It's not that hard, But that's why I say they lowered the bar, and and that's why female rap is where it's at now, because it's trash. They didn't let this bitch come in and do some dumb shit, and boom, now it's all watered down. She ain't got no fucking kick to it, no nothing. There's a lot of ass shaking and pussy popping. That's it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, like that. Like
it is something.
Shout out to Normani,
Wow.
Shout out to Normani. She dropped out a nice little record with Black. Shout out. She shot out a pretty decent record with Cardi B. It was a pretty cool record, but even
her with Normani. Normani said I didn't try to say that you didn't take the Aaliyah vibe, and you did. You sampled her song, and then you just tried to say that it's not her beat. Yes, the fuck it is. They're liars, and they don't know how to tell the truth. All on fake. I can't take it. I'm sorry. And that's why I just peeped this in, because no.
Well,
that's
look like
that's why she did all that begging. They didn't even want to put you on the MTV Awards. You had to be a second. You had to get that spot because somebody backed out. That's sad. Ain't no get it how they get it. That's exactly why they failing the way they failing. Ain't none of them got no real fan bases, and ain't none of them doing what they supposed to be doing. That's why Normani is struggling. She's struggling. She's got to hang with this person and hang with that person to get some recognition because her music itself struggling. She thought about getting Cardi B on that record was going to help her. It did not.
So you're not a Normani fan, huh?
It's not even about being a Normani fan. It's the fact that she's another one. You're supposed to be an R&B girl. R&B. Summer Walker do her own thing because she's true to who she is. Normani, no. She's so busy trying to mingle with this person and that person to get some recognition instead of people learning who Normani is. Nobody knows who Normani is.
That's the business. That's how things go. You gotta think like.
No, it's not. That's not how things used to go.
It's because I'll tell you that.
Because I'm the streaming age that we in.
I'm gonna tell you this. I mean, because at the same time, even with streaming, because from like me, I'm I'm like not the average. Like when I talk about like fan base, sometimes I'm like, it's like me. I kind of like do my own thing. Like I listen to a lot of people, and even with back then, like when it was still records, it's the same thing where we can go back to the Jeezy and Gucci thing. Like Jeezy was like he didn't want to do a record with Gucci or whatever, but it's just the business. But now with the streaming era where you don't necessarily need it, you got SoundCloud rappers thriving, you got people being independent, they win, but they still need that still need that big sale. Give you another example. Me personally, Cardi B's fine, it's okay, but she's hot. She was on fire, like I said. She came out. She got known from her antics on Instagram, Love and Hip Hop. Capitalized on it. She started doing. She started getting roles in. I think it was Hustle. I think it was Hustler, which was okay movie, and then she was also had a small little scene in the Fast and Furious movie. And from what I understand, she's gonna be in the 10th one. So it's like, I mean, you just gotta capitalize on what you got, because pretty soon, like I said, like you just said, you said Cardi and Megan ain't do nothing this year. They cooling down a little bit, so you need to capitalize on that bag while you can, because once you ain't hot no more, that's it. Because the game now, especially with this so fickle industry that we got, fans turn on. Just like they'll like this one person one day and then not like this person another day. I remember when a lot of people I'm trying to think who it was, somebody who came out, because they was talking about with Nicki, they was talking about how Nicki she wasn't really doing nothing with the other female artists. A lot of people was kind of like changing up on them. And then, that's when Lil Kim's try to make a comeback and everything. So, like, it's real fickle. So, I mean, I just say, get your bag how you get it. But, I'm with you. I mean, I personally feel like you gotta, I ain't gonna say it's a young man's game or anything, but this is a male-dominated sport. And you being a female artist and, you have your opinion and views on it. I mean, I think it's just all about the marketing. I think we need just better publicists and just need somebody who actually care about the talent more than the antics and the clout, to be honest. And that's pretty much all what it's been, because you still have to make money. But I think if you allow these artists to just do what they're supposed to do, forget about the features and who's hot, let them grow and create their own little fan base without having that little cheat code or whatever.
Well, they can't, because they can't survive. They can't survive in this age without gimmicks and payola and shit. So I used to like Megan. I don't like Megan. She's phony, and I couldn't fuck with it. So but outside of that, I be chilling. Like, if I don't do music anymore ever in life, that'd be fine. I still love music.
Oh no, you can't do that to me now. You can't do that. You can't do that to me now. Don't say that. Don't say that now.
Life goes on.
Then I'm gonna have to need you to go ahead and drop one more, and then I'll just I'll just keep it to myself. But yeah, but hey, another note, maybe, I don't know how much you're doing it now, but you also do like fashion as well. You always have that to fall back on.
There's a lot of things that I feel like I can fall back on, but right now, like, I'm just taking a mental break from a lot of stuff, peeping the scene, and really understanding that you got to make a decision. Like, what do you truly, truly want to do outside of something that you maybe thought you wanted to do, and maybe that's not of interest anymore. So
what is your goal as of right now, being someone who do music but haven't been doing like what is your like your ultimate goal? Like what do you wanna like do like as far as like your livelihood, what you wanna retire as, like
Right.
what is your
Yeah.
passion?
That's what I'm thinking about right now. I got a couple options that I'm looking into. So it really depends on which one is I'm in more favor of, right? So I'm doing that right as we speak. So, but as I said, I doubt if like music is still going to be something that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pursue this in this life because I really feel like it's not.
Well, I'm gonna say this to you. Melly Joe, Melon Magically, but on all serious notes, if you don't ever do music again, I mean, just tell you, you're gonna be right there to me. Cause I mean, I love Wyclef, I love Lauren, but I think you got like that album Since You're Here or mixtape project that you did. Like I said, I wasn't capping. This was definitely a great body of work. I think those who are like the listeners and anybody who already know, like if it was like say if you was already like known, like this would be that one. Like if this was like the last project you did, like that, it pretty much solidified you. I mean, you're not like mainstream artists, and I mean, you got a fan base, but it's not like astronomical like a Nicki or Megan or anything. But I really feel like if there was an opportunity for everybody to hear it, they would love it because I love it. And like I said, like from the gate, like I was just playing it right before I called. You went in. It was the ad libs for me really too. So, but like you, because like I said, you can really be like you really can be a battle rapper, and I know with you being a battle rap fan, I see the influence in that as well. But you also say you would never battle rap because it's a little bit too that might be a little bit too much for you. And I know how it can be because but that's rap though. That's kind of where rap stems from, battle rap.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna let that rap be what it's gonna be. As I can see for now, like nah, I don't know if I could be that. Like,
yeah, I haven't really been following too much on it. But what is have you been following
Nah, I ain't been following either. It's just a lot of stuff that just kind of turned me off from this.
what do that?
The
All right.
whole hip hop industry. Like,
So you left Virginia and you didn't just kind of got. I don't know. You said you was uninspired. You was fed up with it. Like, is there like what led you to leave?
Well, before I even left Virginia, I hadn't been doing no music for real. Like when I left Virginia, that's when I put out my project because I was like, you know what, let me put out the project. And then right kind of after that, I just kind of like I actually got songs that I could record right now because like I said, I was still writing, here and there, but it was just like. Some days I'd be like, man, fuck that shit. And then some days like, let's see what I can do today, like what I can write today. So that's just how it was. Like, it wasn't like, no, oh, I ain't doing it no more overnight type shit. Because I'm still in limbo with it. Like, I don't know. Who knows? I might get real inspired one day and just start going heavy with it again. Who knows? But I know how I am in general.
Hey, that's how it is. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna be waiting because, like I said, I'm a fan. Like I've been a fan for a long time, and this is like it's actually an honor for me to even be talking to you. Like I feel a little starstruck a little bit, but it's like it's kind of. You said what? No, listen, right? Because look, you already know where I stand with you, but it's just kind of like, yeah, I ain't never talked to you like live and like on one or in person or anything. But it's still just kind of like, look, we talk and chat sometime on the gram stuff, but we know the same people. We kind of got the same, kind of somewhat from the same area a little bit, but it's still kind of like, oh man, I'm about to talk. So this is a moment. This is like a dream come true for me. So you know, because I wanted to really pick your brain a little bit, not just on the music, but like on other things, like what really made you leave Virginia, if you don't mind me asking, and then also what was it that what, like, as far as like your goals, as far as like what's next for you, now that the music is out, now that you actually have some music out on streaming platforms. You can go to Apple Music. Go, those who listen, and since you're here, Joli Noir, that's Joli space Noir. Follow her on Instagram. I'll let you do that thing. But what is next? Like, what made you leave Virginia? What's your plan? What do you like? What is your goal as far as just everything in general, life, everything?
I mean, I always planned to move from Virginia. Like, that was just always something I planned to do. I actually, excuse me, I actually attempted to leave Virginia before, and moved to Florida, which is where I'm at now. But it didn't work out the first time. So yeah, like, I don't know, something just was like, you know what, let's just try it again, and I did. So I've been here over a year now, so that's the longest I've ever been gone from Virginia. Like,
man, that's crazy.
Yeah, that year went by kind of quick, to be honest.
It has. It was kind of wild when I found out you left to Florida. Cause look, I was planning on leaving Virginia myself. It was going to be between North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. But then I'm like, okay, I don't know about Florida. I was like, maybe like Georgia. But when you left, I was like, man, okay, you left Virginia, okay, but I know I'll be asking when you coming back. I know this is home. Like, is there you got people in Florida, right? That's from there.
My mom's side of the family is from here.
Okay, so how's that environment? How's the Florida life living? Like, are you close to like one of the major cities, Orlando, Miami, Tampa? Like, are you close to any of those?
I mean, Miami like 5 hours away. Orlando like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I'm kind of like in the middle, really. So I can access a lot of stuff from where I'm at. I'm in a college area, so it's like it caters to college students where I'm at.
Okay.
Big on college students, and they big on college, football, and medical.
Right. Yeah.
In this area.
Yeah. So yeah, cause I think that because you're not over there, you're not close to Tallahassee or anything, huh?
No, I'm in Gainesville.
Gainesville. Okay. Yeah, man. That's man. How did you find that place? That ain't.
My mama stay here.
Okay. Well, yeah. Florida is Florida. You don't gotta. I know you gotta probably deal with a lot of rain, but you don't gotta deal with too much cold weather. It don't get too cold down there, does it?
It's getting chilly now. It don't stay chilly too long. Like, it'll be cold a day and then maybe get warm another day. So it really depends.
Okay. So, other than that, other than the Florida living, like, what are the things that you are into? I gotta address your pose, and I know sometimes you just kind of we all just do the social media thing. Like with the polls, like, okay, you have your polls. Okay, it's about to be Christmas time. It's about to be Thanksgiving. It's about to be a new year. New Year's resolutions coming up. Valentine's Day is pretty much coming quickly. Like, what are the type of men to get Joli Noir's attention? You doing the polls. Maybe you're just doing it for fun, but I think that's a strategic way of weeding out those who are trying to get you, but they probably just not qualified. Am I right?
It's a little bit of both. It was really just something to do, but then it actually opened my eyes to, like, okay, these are actual real questions, and some of these people that have been interested in me, the way they answer these questions, we definitely wouldn't work. So it definitely was an eye opener, but it was just more so like me just doing it just because I hadn't been on Facebook really, so I was interacting more with people on Facebook.
Right.
Like I said, since I hadn't in a while. Cause I used to be real live on Facebook, but
Yeah. Yeah, you took a little break.
Yeah. Well, I deleted a lot of people. Like, I had like 5,000 friends. I'm all the way down to like 1,000 or something like that because I deleted a whole bunch of people because I used to get tired of their ass.
Well, thank you. Thank you for keeping me around because I'm telling you, look, I can be worse sometime, but all in all, it's just love. That's all it is. I'm the cancer.
No, it was more so like people just not interacting. Like, why are you following me?
Yeah, I got you.
Being my friend.
Yeah, I got you.
That's what I mean by that.
But. Yeah, I got you on that, crew, man. We don't really, but so what is it? So what is your current status right now? And are you into dating? Are you in a relationship? Do you like what type of men are you interested in? What are the type of men that get your attention? For those who want to know, because I'm pretty sure. So you probably know more people than I do, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be people listening, and they probably gonna be like, all right, maybe this, but this is what the In the Blair podcast is about. It's about getting personal. We can talk about whatever, but like I said, whatever you feel comfortable sharing, that's all I'll care about. If you don't feel comfortable sharing it, then I won't pressure it. But these are just open questions. These are questions that I want to know. Questions I'm sure other people want to know.
I don't know what's happening. Shoot. I don't know. I really don't be knowing until I come across it. Everybody to me is different. It's just the basics that once you find out, like, okay, this is somebody I want to try to talk to or whatever, that's when you figure out if they have any of those things to check off on your list. But, like, when you really first meet someone, you kind of figure out who they are just from who they, put out there. Like, whoever they put themselves out there to be, you kind of take it with a grain of salt at that point, and then kind of, trying to see if they hold any qualities that you're interested in. So I might physically be attracted to you, but then once I start getting to know you, I might not like you no more. So, just because you check one thing off the list don't mean the other, whatever, how many others up there is going to be checked off. So, everybody, like I said, everybody's different. I would like you to be, if I could build my perfect person, quote unquote, with 5 things, it would be me being attracted to you, you being a leader, confident, good hygiene, intelligent. I don't know if I named more than 5 yet, but yeah, like, it's just basic stuff that I go off of GP. But just meeting somebody, I can't really say too much until I get to know you more. So it's mainly just going to be off of me being attracted to you. And then if we talk more, if I'm intrigued with our conversation or whatever your personality is like, that is how I proceed. It's in that type of order.
Okay, yeah, that's actually a pretty decent answer because what you said first about it's kind of like you got to see that kind of like first. It's not like just a matter of you look good and you say you you have your preference and then you just say I got to see how it goes because I think that's one thing that we fail nowadays even with that because even today it's kind of like everybody kind of wants somebody that has some type of status that kind of look a certain way, but it's like you might not like this person because it's just like anything else, just like with women. Some women, they can be attractive, they can be a Holly Berry, they can be a Megan Good, but then yet they can be kind of a little too. I don't want to sit here and talk about the girl. I don't know her personally, but they can be like a Cardi B when they just be like ratchet. They be like, oh man, they don't know how to talk. They don't know how to talk well, which is okay, but I think everybody has their own preference, and. Especially now with, mental health, people are looking more into, love languages and horoscopes, which I think is somewhat fair, but it's not 100% accurate neither. So, but I think that's a pretty good answer. Do you like study anything? Like, do you look into things like that as far as horoscopes and love languages and stuff? Do you know your love language? Like, is that something that you really like do like research on or like kind of like focus on?
I'm not focused on, but I have done research on it. Like, I'm a horoscope type person. Some people like, oh, I don't be into that. So, it teaches on. I try not to push it, but I mean, in the back of my mind, I am aware of certain things that people do possess based on when they were born or, whatever. So, yeah, I do research on that. I sure do. I'm into stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. So you're a Sagittarius, right?
Mm-hmm.
So have your horoscope? Because I'm not really too sure what your who your compatibilities are. Like, have those been pretty accurate throughout your life of dating and your love life?
I could say yeah, in a way, because me personally, I feel like Sagittarius can mesh with anybody, but the type of people we are, we get bored easily. So, yeah, I can say it's been accurate. It's just only if a Sagittarius wants that to be something that works.
Okay, so you're pretty much kind of like, you kind of like set the tone for everything.
Unfortunately, it ends up being that way.
That can probably lead to a couple issues sometimes, because I mean, all right, so one thing you mentioned, right, was a leader. So give me an example of when you mean by a man that's a leader. Is it more so like someone who is that kind of like know what they want and can kind of like direct you and lead people who follow them and like respect them, or is it more so someone who's like a boss, like they kind of aggressive with it and stuff?
Someone that is, stern. They know what they want. They don't bend, break, nor, they're willing to compromise, of course. But when I say a leader, someone that if you want a woman to submit to you and follow you and listen to your advice that you give or the suggestions or however y'all want to run your household, if you want her to follow you and submit to you, you got to be willing. You got to have something to submit to. So she got to feel protected. She has to feel like if I'm blindfolded and he tells me to follow him, I'm willing to do that because I trust him. If he's like, if something's going on to where I can't be around, I got to be able to trust him to, be there to lead us into the right direction. If I can't do that, saying, like, it's not even the woman's job to lead. So ain't no if I can't do that. He has to, do that at all times. Like, that's just what it is to me personally. That's what I mean by this blind faith in the man that you're with. If he told you the sky was yellow, for real, because that's just what it is, that's, you believe it because that's your man, and he's supposed to not steer you wrong, basically.
So you don't believe in role reversals?
If a woman is to lead, then I don't know what's that man's purpose, because y'all main purpose is to provide and protect and be to provide and protect. That's your main things, So, and the woman is there to be nurturing and the support. So, I'm confused on if she's leading, what are you doing?
All right. So here's my part where I, address. Yeah, you're right. Me, it don't
say if the woman don't eat. I mean, work, she don't eat. It said if the man don't eat, he don't. I mean, he don't work, he don't eat. So that lets you know there that first of all, he's there to go out there and provide.
Where does it say that at?
In the Bible.
All right, so good. I'm glad you said that, because this is where I'm gonna go. It says the man who works is the man who eats, right? So this is where we get a little bit deeper into that point because, of course, I'm someone who grew up in that whole realm of Christianity and Bible and stuff, right? But I'm not gonna say I'm a Bible thumper. I can tell you some stuff that it says, but I can't tell you exactly where. I know that with the protection to provide, a man's job is to lead. Yes, is to be the leader, to love his wife like God loved the church, right? So, or Jesus loved the church, right? But what I mean is, role reversal is this: when you're dating someone or you're courting someone, that's still kind of like, I'm not gonna say it doesn't count, but there's no, y'all are still learning each other, knowing each other. Once y'all decide to be married, that's where the foundation matters. You got to kind of start somewhere. But when I say role reversal, it's like, okay, there's gonna be points where a man has to be submissive as well. There's a time and a place for a man and woman to, take the lead. Because I'm gonna put it like this: if you have, it's just like, okay, if I don't know where you stand on this, but say if you're with someone and you're making more money than your partner, because I'm gonna tell you, I've been married before. Not everybody's the same, but sometimes when a woman makes more money than you, they have the tendency to feel like that they can flex on you and they can make decisions. It's not right, but it happens because, like you said, a man's supposed to protect and provide. However, the God is the provider, because I'm gonna tell you, just from my experience, it's a case by case basis though. But the faith, like when you're in a relationship and you really round with this person, and you can say the man loses his job, and then you working still. What is your reaction to this? Are you going to support him while he's trying to get back on his feet, or are you going to leave him because he couldn't keep his job?
Listen, I've been in situations where that was the case, so I ain't that type of female. I'm willing to support my dude if he, in a bad situation, but it's times where I didn't even need to do that because it's pointless. Some people just don't want better, or if they claim they want better, the way they want to go about getting better is just some old janky way of doing so. So I've done that. Like it's not like I've done that. I'm not gonna leave you down and out because your financial situation isn't the best right now, because that can always change.
Right.
Now your mind state, can that change? Yeah, it can change, but some people rather not change that. So it's all contingent upon if that person is willing to, do better. Like, are you looking to do better? Yeah, you are in a bad situation right now, but what are you doing to change that? I'm all solution based. Like, I'm not a person that likes to do a lot of complaining, or I don't like to see or hear a lot of complaining. So if I see a man doing a lot of that, then no, we about to argue, because what are you complaining about? Get out there and go make some shit shake. Like, one thing about my dad, what I'm saying, like, I always see him go out there and make something shake because he got kids to take care of. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see no excuses for nobody.
Do you think now? That's funny you mentioned that. Now, there's this thing that they say a woman judges a man based on their father, and a man based their type of woman on their mom. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. I don't base my man off my dad. I'm just saying, like, as far as my dad's work ethic, I've seen his work ethic, and I can't see a man just making an excuse on why he don't have a job. It's no reason. It's so many jobs out here that a person can go out and create that is ridiculous. So there's no need for all of that. But my whole point is, some people do that. I don't look for. It may be like for instance, like I wasn't raised in the household with my dad. You know what I'm saying? So I might have some daddy issues, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But at the most part, I love my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like he's taught me stuff, even if like even if I wasn't raised in the same house with him, I learned stuff from my dad even in my adult years. So maybe I needed him in my teen years more. But, some of those circumstances that I went through, maybe I needed to go through those. Maybe that's just my path. But, no, I don't look for my dad in dudes because for what? I have a dad. Like, they can't be my daddy.
Well, I'm just saying it's just like a sense of like, okay, it's because, I mean, there's a lot of women do this where they say, okay, look, if the father, this is how it should be, but it's like the father is the first man in a young woman's life, and they kind of basically, okay, like if my daddy left me, my daddy abused me, so they don't have no type of trust in men or nothing like that. So that's what I mean. It's like sometimes.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
I guess,
but I'm just saying in general for me, certain things that may transpire when I'm in relationships could come from the lack thereof or whatever, but me looking for that, no, because my dad is still in my life. Like I still learn from my dad. We talk. I haven't like just sat and like talked to him about like, oh, I wish this was that and this was that. But for the most part, I learned something from seeing certain stuff that my dad has done and been through. I learned from that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was around my dad more or knew more of my dad than my mom. So, I can't really tell you too much about my mom. I'm still learning about her. But
so what did you grow up at? Like who did you grow? Did you grow up? You say you.
I grew up with my dad's sister, which is my aunt.
Okay.
So she raised me and one of my brothers.
Okay, and you're from Portsmouth, right?
Born and raised, yeah.
Born and raised, yeah. What side? What part of Portsmouth you from? Represent your city. Represent your area.
I don't got no area I'm representing, but Portsmouth. I stayed in Swanson.
Okay, yeah, Swanson's still kicking right now, but yeah. So you don't have like, so when you're dating a guy or you're involved with a guy, you don't, your dad. I mean, I ain't gonna say you look for his approval, but is there like if your dad say nah, that ain't happening, do you kind of like take it under consideration, or you just like
well, my dad ain't like that. He allows us to be who we are as adults. If he were to say something like that, I probably wouldn't listen because I'm grown.
Have you had any problem? Have you ever had any situation like that where you're like a boyfriend or something and your daddy clashed or like they didn't really get along or anything?
Mm-mm.
No, okay, but that's good. That's good to know because I know
my dad rarely met my boyfriend unless I was serious with him. Like we had to been probably living together type shit.
Oh wow! How many of those have you had?
I think my dad he only met. Well, actually, no, not met. He only knew of maybe 3 of my boyfriends.
Okay. And
one of them he only knew about because he was in jail with that person before. So
wow. Oh man, what a story!
So that was kind of funny.
That's an interesting story. You was your my boyfriend. We was in the cell together.
No, they weren't in jail at the time. I'm talking about this was after they had got out and stuff.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, I was like, well, y'all knew each other in jail. I was like, I don't know, that's crazy. But yeah, that was about it. But no, like one of them boyfriends, he didn't like care too much for because of the circumstances. But yeah, my dad he don't get too involved with stuff like that. He let us make our own decisions. So.
Okay. So how's the dating scene for Joli right now? Like, are you dating? Are you in a relationship? Are you chilling? Like, what is your current status?
My current status is a question mark. So.
Oh wow, that's what I don't even know what that means.
You're
in an entanglement. What is that?
No, it's not an entanglement. It's just more so I don't know what it is either. So let somebody let me know. and I get back to you. But
So is it more like, okay, you think you're here, but you haven't heard from the person or something like that, kind of like that?
nah, it's more so like I don't know. I truly don't. Like it's you could be talking to people and it could be one thing, and then it could be another. So until you get clarification on certain things, you just kind of be like, "Oh, you're dating." So let's just say we're dating.
Oh, I'm like that. I was like, that's a no. Then it's like I think it's.
I'm just kicking it. I ain't even gonna say dating because I think dating sounds more serious. So we're gonna say kicking it.
Well, yeah, dating is. I mean, I'm not politically correct, but dating is more of a. Y'all are learning each other, knowing each other. I mean, kicking in dating is. I guess it can kind of be the same. It's not the same thing. I mean, I don't want to say kicking it is that, but dating is like y'all are going out. Y'all are not exclusive, but y'all are, going out doing,
Okay, so I'm gonna say dating then. Okay, cool.
I mean,
some
kicking
it. Take dating as that. So.
Yeah, I had to school this young guy went out last year when I was working at the government office of the census. And I was telling him, I was like, okay, he was like talking is this, and I'm like, well, dating is kind of like because I didn't have my fair share of just kicking it, because kicking it sometimes it's a little bit more of a we chilling, we kicking it, but we ain't doing anything. We might smoke here, chill here, but I mean, I guess everybody has their own definition, but I guess it's just kind of, I think sometimes at some point we got to be accountable for certain things, which actually I did. Let me ask you this question, because I asked this question on Twitter and Facebook, and I'm interested to know, because you seem like that you kind of like not really one of them girls one of those women who gets, that's very, very like I ain't gonna say petty, but that kind of like stress over a dude or whatever. All right, so if you involved with somebody, y'all no longer in a relationship, you find out that they was cheating on you while y'all was together, what is your reaction?
I mean, what I'm gonna do now? We ain't together no more, so that don't. I don't care. So well, that's on them. More reason for them that's their loss,
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think I've learned. Like I think if somebody would cheat on me, I probably found out why we was doing it. I don't think I've been in that type of situation. That'll be wild. But
you never been cheated on?
I'm talking about like as far as somebody cheated on me and I found out after we broke up. Like no, if they cheated on me, I found out while we were together type shit. So yeah, I don't think I've been in the after the fact type of thing.
All right. So how about here's a more complicated question. Then I like these controversial questions, right? So now, you've been in relationships. How do you carry a relationship if you've been with someone that has cheated, and they cheated in their previous relationships? Do you still, or do you like hold that? Do you kind of like look into that, or you kind of like, hey, that you want with me? Is it, or is it more like kind of like whoever you're with, that's all that matters?
I mean, I feel like not everybody, but I mean, for the most part, if you probably have been with somebody that cheated in some form, whether it's flirting, cheat, actual physical contact, whatever. So I mean, you will hope that they don't do that to you, because you can bring out a difference in people. So they may not be a cheater with you. It could have been who they were with. Maybe they were lacking something. Maybe that person wasn't providing something. I don't know. Can't really speak on that too much, but I'll give you a second. I've done to where I've given second chances. But now you can't be too gullible. So you can give a second chance or two, but after that, nah. Some people just they don't tolerate cheating at all. So once you didn't did it at once, that's it.
Yeah, it's hurtful. It's a painful thing.
Yeah, but it's for men. Y'all claim y'all only cheat for just the pleasure, and women cheat for feelings and stuff. So blah blah blah. I don't know.
I mean, there's more to it. I don't have no ties to not say it, but it's like
I think that's true. I think that's
dumb
very
things.
true. I think men sit up here and just cheat because they get a little itch and they like, fuck it.
Well,
She look good, let me go ahead and smash. But
yeah, I mean, some do. I mean, I done. I mean, like I said, I was married. I'm very open about this and vocal. I'm not really, ashamed to talk about it. I mean, shame on me for doing it. But I made a dumb decision. I was married. I was unfaithful to my wife. I mean, regardless of what happened prior to that, I always say, shoot, I would rather had dealt with getting yelled at and fussing before I had dealt with, before I had really, done that, because I'm gonna tell you, it's when you're doing something and it's wrong and you kind of just don't care anymore. It like, just me personally, it kind of really makes me disgusted with myself, because it's kind of like, man, why am I doing this? But I had sometimes we don't really know. That's why when I asked you that question, as far as the type of man you're entering, you was like, it's kind of like, hey, you gotta know as you kind of like go along, because it's like sometimes we might know ourselves well enough, but it's kind of like you don't really know yourself well enough until you kind of get through, like, certain things you gotta really go through first. Like, you can it's easy to say that you're not gonna do something or that you're gonna do something, but when that time comes, or maybe the opportunity, or maybe a issue that happens at home, and it's like, I never thought that I had that in me, that I had that type of vile thing in me. But it's just, I'm not gonna say it. I was dumb. I made a dumb decision. I mean, I gotta pay for it now, but me and my ex-wife have a good relationship now. We cool. We're raising our son, co-parenting, and it's kind of ironic because it's almost like the last previous women that I dated was seemed to be like, not really too fond of the relationship that me and her have had. But I'm like, it wasn't always like that. So I think sometimes you have to go through the storm in order to see the rainbow. And that's just in anything in life, though. So, but I will say, look, if you have that itch to cheat, like, you better make a different decision. You better have an itch to, to be like, hey, let me go take a shower. Let me go watch some porn or something.
Not a porn.
And just kind of like work it out, because I'm trying to tell you, that jank is painful. You be guilty, you like, but.
Yeah, and then after you done got your little itch off, now you feeling bad. So yeah.
Right. Like, I don't know if you know who T.K. Kirkland is, but it's so funny because he was talking about Bill Cosby, and I think the CEO of NBC or something, he had got 200, I think it was like he was supposed to get like a $270 million check or something, but he had got like a sexual harassment charge or something, where I don't know what happened. I think he lost his job. But it's like, he was like, man, these billionaires, they get hit with sexual harassment and cheating on their wives and all this stuff over some ass, over some pussy. And then he said something it was just so funny. It's still funny to this day. He said, once you bust that nut, you probably ain't gonna like that girl no more. And it's just like, and it's like, that's real. And I'll be like, yo, that is real. That's why I think even when men cheat, it's like, it's some of them might be like, yeah, I like her, she look good, I'm gonna try to smash. But if it's like one of those type of things where you've been trying, you in a relationship and you get an opportunity. It's like an opportunity that's probably been arising after a while.
You all this time, yeah.
But that's what happens because that happened to me. Like that happened to me many times. I mean, I ain't been in no relationships, but it was just somebody who I was involved, like who I liked, and then it's like once me and her finally like linked up, because I'm not like I ain't no hoe, so I sometimes things you gotta take some time. It's like well I done got it out the way now. It's kind of different now because I guess it's just the thrill. I guess the matter of not doing not getting with the girl, it's a little different. But when you finally get the girl and then it's like it's over with, all right, now you're no longer interested because the excitement and the curiosity is gone. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's why I be like, for me, like I be having, look, I'm not a player, I just crush a lot, but it's all about self-control and respect. So I think overall, I mean, it's okay to mingle, but I do encourage everyone, those who are listening, those of you who are involved in relationship, those who are not sure what the relationship status is, I think it's important to know that, hey, you got to look at the things. Okay, look at what you want, know yourself, figure out how the type of person you want to be. Because like I said it before, like for me, I think that sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I'm good at relationships, even though I'm a relationship person, but I think because I'm not like out there, like I've been married, so I know what the type of responsibility that you have to have. And me being a father, it's like nobody's more important to me than him. And I want to make sure that if I am involved with someone, that this is going to be my queen. I'm going to treat them as such. But if I'm not ready, if I'm having some type of curiosity, it's like I'd rather just not even be in one, because it's the worst thing for me is to hurt somebody. I don't want to do it. It don't make me feel good. So it's just like I try. But you're going to, damn if you do, damn if you don't, to be honest. So you got to just do what you got to do. You got to just kind of like just stay in your, kind of like just figure it out. I mean, I really go with the flow sometimes. I can be a heartbreaker sometimes, but I don't know. Like personally, I really just be trying to get, just try different things, because I have to learn myself. I mean, shoot, I can want a relationship today and not want one tomorrow. That's kind of toxic, but I mean, it just really depends on the person. That's why I think sometimes it's important to compromise, but if you want who you want, because I think because you asked this question before, if you want somebody, and it's like if you keep pursuing this person isn't like how much is enough, how much is too much. But it's like if you're sold on this person, I mean, I'm not gonna say, man, you can manifest people. You can't manifest anybody, but if you have your eyes set on,
I haven't seen it.
Well, the manifestation is like a Hindu. It's a Hindu thing. What it means is like manifestation. Because here's the thing is, you can be manifesting somebody else's person. Like I think certain things are kind of like, okay, this person is meant yours. Like manifestation is something totally different. Like speaking things into existence. But it's like what happens when, I mean, you can probably have it, and then you might lose it. But I think it's a little bit more complex than that. But it's just like before, like if you like somebody or you're interested in somebody, ain't nothing wrong with keep pursuing them. But I think after a while you probably get tired, and then you'll be like, all right, well, this person ain't budging. What are you supposed to do? But you gotta stand firm. Like sometimes, what did you say? You said you like a leader. So sometimes that leader, they gotta look. I don't know if this is something that you look into, but if somebody's into you and they really they might or might not be just into you, but if they're into you, that they will probably wait 20 years, because they strongly believe that, hey, if I'm consistent, if I'm persistent, I'm not gonna stop. And I mean, shoot, I know I'm not I'm not gonna put you out there, but I know some things, but you know, it's just certain, but it's just all about.
Hold on. What you mean? You know some things. What you mean? What you
I,
talking
I
about?
mean, I know some things. I know who you into. I know what you into, but
You don't know what I'm into. Y'all might think y'all know what I'm into, but
I'm gonna just leave that wave there. But
yeah, leave that one there because I don't think you know.
I'm gonna leave that wave there. But anyway, but yeah, if you are into someone and you're just into that one person, shoot, I done been, cause look, my ex-wife been married before, my ex-wife been in relationships before, and I mean, it's even at one point I was like, all right, maybe it ain't gonna happen. It happened, but you know, we ain't last long. But sometimes you might have to wait, but it just all depends on what you want, because again, men are impatient. Men might mess around until something is exclusive, because to some men, hey, and I used to think this way, hey, if we ain't exclusive, then I can do what I want. But sometimes in a more spiritual realm, if you are trying to attract a woman, if you're trying to show a woman that you're sincere, she might not realize it, but you know, somewhere down the line, this is gonna be the only woman that you got your eyes set on, and this is the only woman that you probably into. So you're not even really gonna be doing anything. You, like I said, you might have turned that porn on. You better go ahead and get that Playboy and do what you gotta do. But I mean, because again, it's some women looks at that. Some women they'll see a man say that they like him, and then the next day they're in another chick's face, and then I'll be like, oh no, not mine. But
I mean, but to be honest, men have that option because it's like 10 women for every one man, so he has too many options. And you know the supply of men is limited, so you know women pass up good men all the time. You know it is what it is, but there's always gonna be another woman that he can go and look. You know, like you said, it's up to him if he wants to stay stuck on a one particular female because he feels like he can change her, he can make her notice him or whatever the situation is, and that's fine. It's okay to feel that way because it's possible. It's very possible. But you know, let's not get it twisted. It's like 10 women for every one man, so he technically doesn't have to stay on her case. He can always go and weigh his options.
I mean, I think that's the same for women too. I mean, maybe.
No, but it's less men. They have less options because listen to what I said. It's 10 women for every one man. Meaning it's only one man for every 10 women. No. That's why one woman will be either settling or they won't be married or be wives or whatever. They'll be a baby mama maybe, but not a wife.
But how do
because he can get 10 women pregnant and only marry one of them.
But how did you get that calculation? Because I'm gonna tell you this, right? So what's your take on that? Do you think that you said a man? Like, do you think that a man? All right, so for every 10 women, like is one man for every 10 women, but there's 10 women for there's what you said. Okay, there's 10 women for one man, but one man for 10 women.
10 women to one. For each man on this earth is 10 women.
Now some of them gay, because I mean, but it's
exactly. So just imagine the supply just got shorter.
But listen, though, the thing about it is, again, because me personally, I'm starting to learn that we don't have, like, when we're, whether relationships or not, certain things we don't have to compromise, because I think we're all settling, because just like you said, if you can make the perfect man, like if you can have, like, because again, I say that not everybody is going to have every single thing that you want. We compromise, but I think it's a possibility that we do find that person, but it's just a matter of where they get. You know, the person, your perfect 10 man can probably be somewhere in freaking Wyoming or in freaking Jerusalem somewhere, but it's just all about the time. So it's like, but because we already experienced life, we might experience different type of things. We're like, okay, I'm not gonna sit here because it's just like with a job. A lot of people got vaccinated because they're not risking their job. They can't. They don't want to go through the whole process of finding another job, finding a good job. So they're gonna get vaccinated. It's the same thing like with relationships. They see somebody that they like. They say, okay, this man might not be, you know, the best looking, but he has a great personality. He treats me well. He gives me attention, and then it's like, okay, after a while, because after a while, we'll say this. After a while, some things fade off. Like I done been with people who wasn't my ideal. They wasn't idle for me, but it's like, hey, I like them enough to be out with them. I like them. I like them enough to be out with them. I like them. I like them enough to like, hey, this is me right here. But it's like,
but you know what? I ain't even gonna wear it to you. I would hate to be in something like that. I like them enough. You know how that sounds? I would hate for my husband to say, you know what? I like my wife enough to marry her. What?
Well, here's the thing. You know, it's funny. My friend said the same thing. But look, but listen though. The thing about that is like if you marry.
Shit like that,
Nah, but I don't think they're gonna say it. But I think here's the thing.
I don't want you thinking that. I don't even want that to be a thought in your head. I should have been like, you know what? This is the only woman I ever wanted to marry. Like she made me say, you know what?
Then you said there's 10 women for every man.
No, listen, and he better find that one that he wants to be with. Like, cause no.
Because I'm gonna tell you this now. Look, it's a possibility. Because look, I don't believe that soulmate applies to like marriage. I think that's a totally different thing. I think whoever you decide to marry, that's who you're with, and that's who. But it's just like I said, it's all about responsibility and accountability. So if you're with someone and you're like, okay, because again, if you can find the perfect man, because I think this is how it goes. If you were to choose between the man that you're with and the man that you want more, who do you pick? If you had opportunity to get the one that you want more.
I don't know. See, that's risky because the man that you want may not even be the man for you. So, you know, that just may be a fantasy illusion on you thinking that that's the person for you.
That's why sometimes, because again, it's not always about the looks. It's not always about the personality. Again, it's about
it's never going to always be about that. Because like I said in the beginning, somebody can be cute or handsome or whatever. And then once I get to know them, I'm like, oh, no.
And somebody can also treat you well, but then they change after a while because, again, like relationships.
Now they got you. So, yeah, I mean.
Because,
people do that as well. They change up on you once, you know, you get into a relationship. They might be the nicest person.
That's true.
But, you know, once you get into the relationship, they show all these other characteristics. Like, damn, okay, well, that's why I say I always want to see somebody and they mad as, like, be mad. I want to see, not even, you don't even got to be mad at me, but I want to see how mad you can get because,
look, I'm going to tell you this, right? I've been with
you on all your seasons.
I've been with people, and like one thing for me is like, look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna BS. Like, I don't care if you mad. Like, and this is probably why the thing for me, I'm so forgiving that I love for real. So it's like I'm not gonna say anything that I don't mean, even if I'm mad. So you might piss me like, cause like, again, I didn't felt ways about people, and I didn't like say nothing. It's like I'm not gonna sit here and ever put my hands on a woman. I'm not gonna sit here and ever disrespect a woman, call her a bitch or anything, because it's like, look, I'm not saying it because you're mad. And even regardless, and even if I feel that way, it's just a matter of, because look, I feel like being part of being mature is also a responsibility. I think if you can't control your anger or emotion, there's a sense of immaturity there. I mean, it's okay for people to sometimes get angry and just say, because women are vindictive. They'll say stuff just to get under your skin. Because I tell you, when a woman's scorned, when a woman's hurt, she's going, you better call your job and tell them you ain't dead. You better pull a day and like lock the front door, lock the back door, and hope baby D don't come after you. But you gotta like be very careful, because my dumb tail actually I'm sincere about the stuff that I say, but sometimes it changes because in that moment, that's how I felt. But things will change drastically because, like I said, the same day I was going to tell my ex-wife that I was unfaithful to her was the same day that the girl messaged her and told her, and I'm like, look, I'm gonna say this live on the In the Blood podcast. Please don't laugh. I'm not the best lay, right? But I'm very much charming. I will sit here and I'm honest. Like I'm gonna always be respectful. I'm gonna always treat you right. Shoot. I'm the man that you shoot. Forget introducing me to your mama. You introduce me to your kids. You know they love me. You know what I mean. So it's just a matter of controlling your emotions because again, I didn't have arguments in front of kids that I probably shouldn't have, but I'm never going to say anything that I don't mean because then I'm going to have to apologize and then I'm going to have to sit here and be like, hey, I'm sorry I lost my cool in front of the kids, but I never apologize for anything that I've said. Now, if you offend somebody, you might offend people. You're gonna offend people anyway. People get offended by me just asking them questions, so it's just something that I can't really avoid. But at the same time, you gotta think about you too. Like if you're offended for something I say, that means you don't have no respect for how I feel because you not allowing me to be, at least honest. I mean, there's gonna be some hard truths that comes out of my mouth sometime, but I'm not meaning it in a malicious way. I will apologize for hurting your feelings, but I'm not gonna apologize that that's how I feel about it. You just gotta know how to avoid it. So that's when you then have to figure out, hey, are you compatible with this person? Because if you're constantly arguing, because I don't think arguments mean that y'all have a healthy relationship. I just feel like that sometimes things are just somebody's not being respected or somebody's not really caring about the other person's desires or wants because y'all have to be able to communicate on a way where y'all are not arguing every day. So, but I'll just say like that, it's just, if you had the chance to have that one person you wanted, and you said this person might not be for you, but it's like, hey, who is for us? Who is the person that's for us? Because in all seriousness, we get old, we experience different things, we change our minds. So if you can continue to like this person after you then experience more things and experience new things, then maybe then you can say this person is for you. But it's a work. You gotta work to keep that spice up. You gotta work to continue to be a good boyfriend or girlfriend for this person. You gotta work to even be a good person because I'm telling you, we have every reason to not be good people. But I think it's just something in us that makes someone a good person and someone that's not a good person. But we all have, like I said, reasons. We all have reasons for how we are, but it's just like I said, it's a maturity thing.
Right.
But that's why I was asking. Like, what would you do? And you said that would be a risky thing. So that goes back to show you that it's like kind of like, maybe you're still learning yourself. Maybe you still it's like you'll cross that bridge when you get to it. Hopefully you don't ever have to, experience that. Hopefully, whoever you decide to be with forever, that person ain't like settling. But I think in some retrospect, like it could be like a case by case thing because again, you can meet somebody in the club and they can be your wife or husband, but just remember you met them in the club. So the following week, you might run into somebody who might be just like that person. It's just a matter of circumstance. Whoever got to you first, whoever attracted you first, it's not always about just who you like more. It's just about who got to you first. But it's that's a little bit deeper. But I mean, that's the type of stuff that I be thinking about. Like I said, I might like you just enough. So, but
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, I could have been married, a long time ago.
I'm sure you could
I
have.
when I get married, I want to be married for the rest of my life. I don't want no divorces. I don't want to have no second guessing and stuff like that. So I've been asked to be married a lot of times.
I
Actually,
believe
so.
you. I believe you. I'm gonna be honest. I know you probably have.
And I always say, don't ask me to marry you if you know like our situation isn't the best. Don't ask me no question because that's not gonna make me say yeah. That's gonna put me in an awkward situation. So.
Yeah, I feel you.
I always say that for sure.
Yeah, I feel you on that because I think now here's a question though. Here's a question on that. Now, do you feel like how long would you give someone to propose before you decide like, all right, this person either gonna ask me or because I mean women are asking men nowadays.
I don't put time frames on stuff like that. I'm never in a rush for that. If you want to do it and I feel like it's appropriate, like we both been talking about it and we both on the same page because like that's something we know we've been talking about, then that's different. But if we never really brought it up or it's not like we rushing it, I don't have to feel like, oh, you gotta marry me within a certain amount of time for me to feel like you really, want to be with me. No. I was in a relationship for like literally 5 years. Now, mind you, this person always wanted to say, oh, we gonna get married. I was gonna go get a ring, da da da. But I'm like, no, don't go get a ring because you feel like you don't, I don't know if this is something a coping mechanism for some men where they feel like, okay, I'm gonna go get a ring that way she don't go nowhere. That don't mean nothing. So, yeah, I'm one of them people like I don't gotta rush marriage. If I don't get married in life, that'll be fine with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it would have been a cool thought, but that would be fine with me if I never get married. Like,
why? So I asked this before, and I don't think you ever. I mean, cause I asked some people. So the thing with marriage, like for you, why is marriage ideal for you? Like, why is marriage like why is that something that you would want?
I mean, I don't even know if that's something that I want. I mean, yeah, it's the whole family aspect of it, to have a family, and do all that good shit. But I don't think it's ideal for me, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, because I think, because I know it's because I have a friend, like she kind of like broadened my mind a little bit because it's like, I guess same thing for her. Sometimes marriage is like, it's kind of looked at. And I know some people feel like, okay, the family aspect, the foundation. I'm like, hey, you can do that. You don't have to be married with somebody. I mean, you got to think of how marriage is here in this country, which is pretty much always a business type of thing. But then maybe somewhere else. I mean, I ain't been out the country yet, but I mean, it's probably like you got places like Africa. They got 5 wives, and it's like, oh man, that's actually polygamy here, but you can't do that here because again, it's just too much of a burden for the country, the power that be to handle. But I think I still believe in marriage. I still kind of one day want to get married again. But I think sometimes I guess my I guess the sensation for it, and that's why when you said you was in a relationship for someone with 5 years. And they said they was going to get a ring. And I'm going to answer that question. I don't want to say that I'm right, but there are some people like myself sometimes. It's when you say stuff, when certain things that you say, I mean, you might be serious about it, but I think once you say it, it kind of fulfills the need to do it once after you say it, because sometimes, again, like, there's a lot of stuff that I want to do and I say I'm gonna do. I still plan to do, but I think sometimes after once I say it and I share it with someone, that motivation or drive for me to even do it is not as ambitious anymore because I was able to at least get it out of my system because it's all in the mind. But I mean that's a real thing though. Like words, like people like that sensation of just saying things is a real thing. I struggle with that a lot. But what happened for like y'all was married? I mean, I saying you was with someone for 5 years, and like what happened? Was it like a bad breakup? Or?
I mean, it was just no, it wasn't a bad breakup. It was just sometimes you're two people don't necessarily work. Sometimes they were better off as friends, or whatever. So I felt like that was our situation. Like we still cool now, but yeah, like.
But it's not awkward though when y'all see each other.
That they still had to grow, and even me. I'm not even gonna say just them. There's certain stuff that I had to like learn about myself. Like was I settling? If I would have married this person, like would I would have been settling? Did they, did they possess the things that I would want? And yeah, for the most part, I felt like they would have possessed certain things. But this person, they did certain things that I didn't like in the beginning in our relationship, like with infidelity. So it was just like, even though it was like mild, it was just like, damn, really? And then as time progressed, then I found out other stuff. So not to say again that I was innocent or anything like that, but it's just certain stuff within our relationship that took place that I think shouldn't have took place.
Yeah, I mean I understand. I think that's what everybody relationship. I mean, shoot, I ain't gonna say I've been with people for like 20 years, but I've been involved with a girl like on and off for like as long as I known her, it'll be like 20 something years or maybe like 15 years. But it's like, hey, it's normal because again, like when it's genuine, it never really dies. But I think it's all about, like I said, growth. Like some people grow apart, some people grow together. But it's like again, like as long as you don't let it blind you, because sometimes we can be stuck because we can feel like, okay, this you might be used to this person and you like the chemistry is probably, I mean, because being with somebody for 5 years and then it ending, it's like I can imagine like if y'all have a good cordial relationship now where y'all are cool, that's great. But I know like, man, 5 years is that's, I don't know, like that's like for me, I would be like, man, I would definitely would have tried. Like I don't know if I could, like it don't take me long. It don't take me long personally to, I mean, I guess at that time you was younger. So what are you, 31, 30?
Hello?
Oh yeah, I'm here. Nah, so
I said 31.
Okay, so yeah, cause I mean I always admire those relationships, like the high school sweetheart relationships, people who have been together since high school and they're married and stuff. But I think sometimes even with such a relationship that was probably like in the early teenage years, I mean that's kind of like, yeah, I'm with this person. This is the person I know, but. Again, 5 years, anything over 3, and I mean this is just me personally. I think anything over 3, I think after you're with somebody after a certain amount of time, especially if you're a certain age, like me, I'm 34. So if I was to be with somebody for 3 years or more and still haven't married them, I don't think that we would be getting married. Because I don't know by that like that. Maybe that first year, it don't take me long, but again, I'm a Cancer, so partially part of that is like, hey, I'm not really picky, but I'm also kind of indecisive. But I always try to shoot and be like, look, if I'm gonna be in a relationship with you, I'm shooting for the end. So that's why sometimes for me, I'll just skip the engagement. I'll be like, all right, look, let's just get married right now. And if we could get married right now, we'll get married right now. So that's kind of how I'm going into my situation next time. So, but I mean, everybody had their own like preference, but it was just like I just figured it was just like it'd be something to ask because I know for women and you know, I know y'all probably be like, man, okay, I want to get married, but I'm not gonna ask him. So I mean, you gonna get this person you gotta get this dude the ultimatum, or get this dude like, look, you gotta figure out what you want. But again, not everybody wants to get married. Some people are fine with, just living together. Some people are fine with just dating forever. But that's that's the only reason why I asked. So.
Okay.
But I think, other than that, moving forward, do you have any words that you want to say? Do you want to plug in your social media? Because we didn't talk about music, we didn't talk about relationships and all that stuff. So shoot, but we talked about goals and everything. Like, did you want to plug in your media? Did you want to plug like anything you're working on? Add anything you're working on? Is there anything else you want to address?
I think we kind of covered everything. You can follow me on Instagram, Coco Jonavenchi, CoCoJonobenchi. Yeah, that same on Twitter. Joli Noir on Facebook. So yeah, I really be chilling. I don't really be doing too much on social media, but if you want to follow me, you can follow me.
Yeah, well, I'm already following you. Now, where did that name come from, Joli Noir, first of all? I probably should have asked that earlier.
It's pretty bad in French.
In French, so is that what
yeah.
Jonavenchi stand for? Is that a French word too?
That's just something I made up.
Nice. All right. Well, again, I do appreciate this conversation that you having me. Well, you having me on my episode, because again, as the Blair and the Blair podcast, it's not just my experience, it's your experience. I like to let the guests take over the conversation. I ask the questions, but we get personal, and I do appreciate you reaching out to me, showing your support, always showing love. And like I said again, the podcast is over. I got your number, you got my number. If you ever need to talk, you know how to get in touch with me. But I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for participating and cooperating. I learned a lot, and I hope people listening, those who have been listening, thank you. Again, y'all follow her on Instagram, Twitter, and remember, Since You're Here is on all streaming platforms. Joli Noir, once again, JoliNoir, and also YouTube, Joli with the T, bars. Y'all holla at her. She got bars. She rap, even though she ain't rapping right now. So, but I do appreciate that love and appreciate you. So, like I said, I will let you go. Have a good night, and we'll talk again soon. Again, this is a VA thing, so you might be in Florida, but this is VA for the lovers, VA for the hustlers.
Absolutely. I appreciate you always, showing your support, being genuine, being yourself, doing what you do no matter what. So I appreciate that always. I'm always down to, chat it up. I get in my moods where I like to be reserved and to myself, but
I'm the same way. But I'm gonna say this live on the podcast, like that entanglement, or whatever you in, you figure it out, okay? Because I'm telling you, people shooting their shots now. It's about to be Valentine's Day.
People been doing that.
Yeah, people been doing that, but I'm just saying, you gotta figure it out. Like, so if he's listening, you just gotta Make sure you just.
Oh no, I ain't doing all that. Damn that.
But anyway, I'm gonna let you go. Blessed ones, thank you for listening again. Once again, be safe, be prosperous, productive, and positive. And this is Blair and Joli Noir, aka Melly Joe, aka Jonah Vinci, aka Pretty Black, aka Hot Shit.
Okay, man.
Since you're here, since you're listening, I'm out, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, good night.
Good night. Oh, man.